morning to you all that got up at 6 a.m. I had a great night of sleep. Thank you so much for asking. And I decided to treat myself with sleeping in, because you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. for Drex anymore. I'm over that. It's about 10 o'clock. Just kind of rolled out of bed. And we're finally gonna take a look at the Pokemon Direct. I have yet to see anything. I've been just staying off my phone the whole time. So without further ado, let's get these babies on. Oh yeah. Dude, these headphones, the most ultimate gamer headphones. Like, I'm basically a gamer. There it is. The city, baby. Wow. Yeah! There's our boy! Dude, Grookey, the best! You can fist, but oh my god. The giant Diglett, did you see that? There's your wild encounters. Is everyone new? Oh, there's some new guys! Dude, this music? I love that they have to show off random encounters right away. Just to be like, don't worry, it's a thing in this game. What is that? That's the new Pidgey, but cooler. And explodes stuff. Wait, so I'm seeing Pokemon walk around in the overworld. What was that? Is it like a bit of both? Yeah, there's just stuff walking around. What the heck? Dude, it's the Breath of the Wild Towers. No way. Wait, multiplayer? Wait a second. Wait a second. Dude, it's like raid battles basically, right? Yeah. Fighting a giant legendary Pokemon. No way. Wait, a giant Pokeball? What? Giant? You could just get giant Raichu? Why is that even a thing? That's so... I love the giant ball. That's amazing. And here we go. First look at a gym battle. Or the soccer league, right? And look, he's got like a pistol. He's got a pistol grip of Pokeballs. Dude, so that's like the new Z move. It's like giant Pokemon. Hell yeah, man! Look at these things! It's like, how do you one-up Z moves, right? Just make the Pokemon massive. Just make them absolutely massive. Wow. That was cool.
You can take on the role of the main character, who resides in the Galar region. After choosing Grookey...
That's right, after choosing Grookey, period. There's no more.
Other locations
I really like that I have Pokemon on the overworld, like Let's Go. Like, it makes the world feel more alive. That's so cute. I love this sheep one. What the heck? That one's cute too. I like it. Dude. It's like Totodile's older brother. Oh. This one's... Oh, it's a raven! Oh, it's the ride service. Okay. Okay, we're gonna see our first evolution, right? Come on, let's see it! Oh, it's the little puff thing.
That's all I can show you.
That's it? You. Okay. Are those really the only new ones in the trailer? I swear I spotted a few other ones. Okay, let's explain the Breath of the Wild Towers thing. And the multiplayer thing. That okay? Like, what's going on?
In a place called the Wild Area.
Okay. So this is the Breath of the Wild area.
With the camera, allowing you to better search for items.
Oh my gosh, so it's like basically
far and wide in the tall
it's
grass,
sectionalized open world areas. That's pretty cool.
For you, this phenomenon is called Dynamax.
Dude, no one could have expected that this was going to be the new feature for this game. Getting giant. Dynamax.
Remember that wild area we told you about?
That's right.
If you connect to other players, you'll find more ways.
I knew it. It's some sort of multiplayer. But like, do you open world together or you just kind of meet up and just fight a boss together?
Battle.
Yeah, it's raid battles. It's literally max raid battle. I like this. It's like encouraging people to play together and not just do your own solo adventure. I just wonder how it works. Like, do you just kind of all link up and just do the battle together? Or can you, like, walk around the little Breath of the Wild area together? Not that it matters, I guess, but I'm really digging the art style. It's like, it feels so Pokemon, you know? Let's Go felt a little too plastic. I feel like they just nailed it right here. So it's your rival, basically. But apparently he's probably going to be a nice guy. I love the pistol grip. That's like how I would do it. Pistol grip of
I'd
Pokeballs.
like to talk with them with some of your own.
Yeah, Grookey!
Explosive, and will cause the energy and excitement in the stadium
Gosh.
to reach its peak.
And no one dies. And no one dies in the audience, right?
Let me expert Milo.
He's got no nose.
This gym
Yeah, he does have a nose.
battles alongside his
But I have one more video I would like you to
Dude,
see.
legendaries or something, right? Maybe.
Please
Probably.
take a look.
Is this even the same game? Wait, that's somebody new, right? I don't recognize that. Yeah, that's definitely something new. That's the shield Pokemon right there, right? And then this is the sword one. Oh, it's a bunch of dogs! It's a puppy game! Dude, the sword one's pretty dang cool. It literally just runs around with a sword in its mouth. They gotta team up for something. Or not. What? It was just a wind. Is that it?
The two Pokemon you saw in the video just now are...
Dude, admittedly, the context of that trailer was a little weird. Like, the wind came out of nowhere and then nothing happened.
I would like to announce the release date.
Friday before Black Friday.
Pokemon Shield.
I was right. Maybe. I don't know. Yep, Friday before Black Friday. Dude, they always be getting us with those double pack games. Oh, and there's the box art. Oh, it's very minimal. I do like those legendary guys, yeah. Okay. Pretty cool. Let's get rid of these things forever. That was a pretty good direct, but I mean, I kind of expected going into it because it's Pokemon after all. They love to just drip feed information, right? I mean, at least we already have the starters out of the way. We already know them. And now we know the two figurehead Pokemon, which is kind of what I expected going into it. But you know Pokemon. They love to, like, give you small little things here and there all the way to the end of the year just to keep that hype building throughout the rest of... Well, how many more months do we have? 6 more months? But I thought it was a pretty good direct. And, you know, there's a lot of things that people have been really wanting in a Pokemon game that they have here. I mean, first of all, the open world sections. I really think that's an ingenious way to do it. So how they phrase it is these open world areas are kind of like the areas between towns, you know? Rather than like straight up just linear routes. Because that was always a critique about Pokemon games, is they're just extremely linear games. I mean, there's the town, and then there's literally just a road to the next town, right? And I think to kind of break up the pacing of the game and kind of make it feel more fresh, I think this is a really great idea to have the open world areas in between the more, you know, linear cities. So they can still work with a more linear progression of the game, because that was the fear if they went with entirely open world. It's like, how do you guide the player down a certain path? How do you still craft a linear story? And I think this is a great solution for Pokemon. Have these open world areas being like chunks basically throughout your adventure, and you can kind of explore them at your will, you know? I really like that these wild areas actually have Pokemon walking around out in the area, which I think that was one of the things I really loved about Let's Go. I know people hated it because they got rid of random encounters, but I really like that this game kind of has both now. It has the tall grass areas, but also in the open world areas, you can actually walk around and you can see Pokemon. It makes this world feel a lot more alive, and like, you know, if it's a world, if all the animals are Pokemon in this world, it's really strange to me that if you're playing the game and you don't see any walking around, like, they're not all hiding in grass, but there are some hiding in grass. So it's like, it's pretty, I love the balance. I love the balance that they have. I really think it's interesting too that they have dynamic weather or something like that in these open world areas. So like, depending on the time of day or the weather going on in those areas will influence what kind of Pokemon you can catch there and what ones will appear. So I think that's really cool. So like, even if you fully explore an area, maybe you haven't explored it on a rainy day, so different kinds of Pokemon will actually appear rather than just the ones you saw on a sunny day or a cloudy day, or if it's snowing or the desert storm and stuff like that. A way to encourage the player to continue to explore these areas, because I mean, I'm sure there's probably gonna be secrets and maybe items to get, but once you kind of get all the items, like, what's the point of exploring this bigger area? And a great way would to be, you know, have certain areas where certain kind of Pokemon spawn. So if you're trying to capture a certain Pokemon or complete your Pokedex, whatever, it'll continue to encourage the player to return to these areas and explore different areas. I like that a lot. Then they kind of threw in the multiplayer thing with the raid battles, which like I literally immediately caught on that would look like a raid battle from Pokemon Go. And that's like one of the best things I personally feel like about Pokemon Go is like that really got me back into it for a while. To further emphasize the sense of community and multiplayer by like fighting together against one big boss enemy. And I think that's really cool how they've been able to incorporate that into an actual game of Pokemon. Actual as in like mainline. I like that it's both local and online. I love I hope that there's maybe a mix of both. Maybe you and a friend together in the same room can go hop online, or maybe, you know, you can hop online with a friend, but then also fill the lobby with randoms afterwards. The thing I'm still not cleared about is the context of this multiplayer, because it kind of made it seem like all the players walked up to that raid battle thing, but at the same time, it could be something like, you know, you're walking around open world, you see those pillars of light, right? You walk up to pillar light, a dialogue box comes up saying, oh, there's a giant Pokemon here. Would you like to connect online or local to fight someone? And then it loads for a second, and then the characters come in. So I don't want to get the anticipation that you're gonna be able to explore these areas with friends. That's probably not going to be the case. It may be, but, and I know that's what people have wanted, but you saw what happened with Let's Go's co-op. It was very half-baked. But at the same time, you know, that was local multiplayer. It'd be kind of different if, you know, you both had your own Switches or were playing online or whatever. They didn't really say that wasn't a feature, but they didn't say it was. They kind of just emphasized that the multiplayer aspect was the raid battle. So that's kind of the expectation I'm going to have. That's like, you know, you just go into these little pillars of light and then the multiplayer can start type deal. I will say this game is really, really beautiful. Like, I'm really loving what I'm seeing here. There's so many small little details that really enhance the game. Like, there's like lighting effects, like wind. Like, for example, like the what's his name? The gym leader for the grass guy. He had like a wind effect going on his like little bow tie in his hair or whatever. I don't know, it just made it more epic. I mean, like, it's such a random little thing, but like, it was pretty cool. Let's talk about Dynamaxing. I love how with each of these progressive of Pokemon games over the past few years, like, they've always felt the need to include these like epic new things to really put a twist on the gameplay. And I really enjoy that, because, you know, and then it's just not the same basic Pokemon over and over and over and over and over. You know, it's something fresh. But it does make me wonder if Z moves from Alola, and as well as Mega Evolutions, if those will actually make any sort of appearance here in conjunction with the new Dynamaxing system. Perhaps maybe they're being left to the side, or maybe, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But I really do like this system, because now it's not just exclusive to certain Pokemon, you know? I mean, you can equip generic Z moves to certain Pokemon, and then there's generic ones. But then you really want, you know, to use the Z moves with the characters who have specific Z move crystals, right? And the same thing with Mega Evolutions, only certain Pokemon actually have the option to even Mega Evolve. I really like this new Dynamaxing system, because it now makes it so every single Pokemon can do it. You know, Caterpie could do it if I wanted. Can you imagine a 1,000-foot Caterpie just well above the crowd, just like standing just menacingly and shooting a giant wad of string shot over the crowd? People go nuts. People would just go nuts. Yeah, I really like that it's now not exclusive to only certain Pokemon. It really opens the floodgates to every single Pokemon can be it. They didn't have to make a new model or some new animation. They just kind of make them bigger, put a couple of clouds around their head and a little red electricity, and that's all you gotta do. I also do like that the gyms have another twist on them. It's not just generic gym battles like it has been in previous regions. I really enjoyed how Sun and Moon, you know, took a twist on it, and it was more of the trial captains, you know, and it was a different take on the gym formula, and it was really refreshing. And I like that they're doing something similar here, and they're still bringing back the kind of gym aspect, but now it's like a giant whole sporting event. You got these huge audiences. It's pretty great. I'm curious though what the lead up will be to the gym. Will it be similar to older games where it's like a small little puzzle area, or more likely, which I think it'll be like, I'm thinking it might be something similar to the trials from Sun and Moon, but instead maybe you're like earning the ticket. Maybe you're earning like a ticket or the right to even fight the gym battle in the first place. So maybe you need a ticket to enter the gym battle. So what you have to do is like task some sort of story or narrative or task around in town, or maybe there's some area that has some loose puzzle solving or something. Oh my gosh, my nose is dying right now. But anyways, I want to talk about the new Pokemon. I was a little off-put by the starters at first, just a little bit. But you know, the more I've seen them, and now these new Pokemon, I'm really like digging these designs. Like, I can look at them and be like, yeah, that's a Pokemon. There are some generations where like the Pokemon came out and it felt like, not campy, but it was like, really? That's a Pokemon? I think the last generation of Sun and Moon did a really great job. Like, all of its new Pokemon fit so well with the rest of the universe of Pokemon. And I think the selection that they have so far have as well. What is interesting, though, is the two legendary dogs, which it kind of makes sense now that the dog was literally in the logo, that the legendary is going to be dogs, but they're so similar. They're literally like basically C and P, but the only difference is, you know, the sword and the shield. Admittedly, though, it's still kind of a funny concept, you know, that like there's a dog running around with a sword in the forest, you know. I will admit these two legendaries feel a lot smaller scale than previous ones. Like Zekrom, Solgaleo, and Groudon, you know, they just feel like giant, big legendary Pokemon. You know, they're massive, and these ones feel a lot smaller scale. Like they only look maybe a little bit bigger than the trainer themselves. They're just, I mean, they're big dogs, but they're big dogs. What I think is interesting, it's a nice twist, you know? And I wonder whatever that little leaf spiral thing, maybe that's a hint towards whatever the third triangle the third legendary Pokemon that eventually will be showing up, the big bad. Maybe there's like one big bad Pokemon, and maybe perhaps the final boss battle is a raid boss battle with, you know, you can bring some multiplayer in and fight the boss together. That'd be pretty cool. In a way, I might have maybe been hoping for other Pokemon game announcements, but at the same time, it was a Sword and Shield Direct. I don't really know what I was expecting. We got the new Pokemon game announcements at the press conference last week. And besides, E3's right around the corner, so they could announce other Pokemon titles there. But as far as a focus on just Sword and Shield, well, yes, it had maybe some pacing issues here and there where it was kind of just like, okay, just get on with it. I think overall it's pretty good. Gave us some good new stuff, better details on how the game's gonna work, as well as a brief look at a couple of new Pokemon. And probably to be expected throughout the next few months up until release, we'll probably every few weeks the trailers will start ramping up. I hope they do something similar to like what they did with Sun and Moon, where like, you know, every other week there's a new trailer showing off new Pokemon and new features or new trainers or... yeah. So what did you think of this Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct? Let me know in the comments below. Was it everything you were hoping it to be or not? Be sure to give this video a big, awesome like. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Pokemon Sword and Shield and other Nintendo E3 coverage. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!